So starting on our backs, just allow those toes to flop out. We're going to take a few breaths here right in our Shavasana. You can tuck your shoulder blades under one by one. Palms are up. Start to find some big breaths. So inhaling all the way in, feeling those ribs lift and separate and expand. And as you exhale, pushing everything out. Again, inhale fully and deeply. And exhale everything out. Last one, inhale all the way up. Feel those ribs lift, separate, hold it at the top. And then exhale, open your mouth, send it out with intention. Feel your lips, breathing in and out through your nose. And now starting to shift that breath down to your belly. As you inhale, pushing your belly out, creating that vacuum. And as you exhale, pulling it in, maybe even chasing it with your pelvic floor as you push air out. Again, inhale, push your belly out. That's what's allowing our diaphragm to lower and suck air down into your lungs like a vacuum. And then exhale, send your breath out, pull it in, lift your pelvic floor. Now you're going to hold on to that pelvic floor even as you start to inhale and exhale on top of it, finding deep breaths, moving at your own pace. So it's just like holding in a little Kegel. On your next inhale, bring those knees into your chest and pull them in. Maybe rounding, finding forehead to knee connection. Rocking a little left and right. Keeping your knees in, relaxing your head and shoulders down, and sending your arms out wide like a capital T. We're just going to let those knees fall over to the right. Maybe point your chin to the left. Finding a little stretch there, a little supine twist. Next inhale, come back into center, pull those knees back through center together. And as you exhale, let your legs drop over to the left and point your chin to the right. And then we'll come back into center. We're going to start to move with our breath. So just allowing those legs to fall about 3/4 of the way to the right, and then inhale them back through center. And then exhale over to the left, and then inhale it back through center. Again, moving with your breath, exhaling to the right, inhaling to center, exhaling to the left, inhale to center. One more time, just like this. Right, center, left, center. Send your feet straight up. Hips are balanced. Start to push the small of your back down into the mat as you pull your ribs in. Keep them there. Palms are flat on the mat out from your shoulders. We're going to lower about halfway to the right. Once you get there, spin your belly button up to the sky. Push that right leg up into your left. Hold it here. Shaking is good. Then we'll come back through center. And bring those legs halfway over to the left. Once you get there, start to push that left leg up into your right. Try to spin your belly button up to the sky. And we'll come back through center. I'm going to let those legs fall all the way over to the ground, but only at about a 30-degree angle, so they're not straight out from your hips. Keep your right arm on the mat, palm face down. Flip your left palm up. We're starting to reach your left fingertips to your left toes, so doing a little diagonal V up, and then extend everything out. Inhale, center. Exhale it out. Keep squeezing it up and out. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This time come all the way down to the mat and just let that left arm open up. So a nice stretch along those obliques. And then we'll come back into center, pull your knees in. And we'll send your legs over to the left, straighten your legs. So again, at about a 30-degree angle. And just take a breath here for a moment, finding that nice long stretch on the right side. Keep your left palm down. We're going to send that right palm up. And then we'll start to bring those right fingertips to the outside of your right foot and lay it back down. Again, squeeze it up and out for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay it out and just lay. Find that big stretch along your right side. And we'll bring those knees back into center. Pull them in, start to rock and roll forward and back. Finding that balance on your sacrum. Knees are together, ankles are together. Holding it at that half boat pose, Ardha Navasana. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders back, maybe lift your gaze softly. Bring your hands to heart center. You're going to start to roll onto that left hip and twist to the right. And then we'll roll onto your right hip and twist to the left. And then we'll come back to the right, to the left, right, left. Just finding this twisting movements, working your obliques. Your knees stay glued together. Really try to bring your elbow to the outside of the opposite thigh. Go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it through center. Pull your ankles in. And we'll find a tabletop position. Knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. And find a few rounds of your cat and your cow. Inhaling into cow. And exhaling into cat. And just moving with your breath. Finding an arch on the inhale and a round on the exhale. Maybe closing down the eyes. Bringing that attention inward and trying to really find the small movements, not just the general articulation. But what are your shoulder blades doing as you move through this cat and cow? Right, are they also retracting and protracting, not just about your spine? And then we'll pause in the center, pull your ribs in. We'll start to bend that right elbow slightly, And try to draw your right shoulder blade to your right hip point. At the same time, you'll feel that left side open up and squeeze the right side of your waist for 3, 2, maybe looking past that right shoulder. 1, come back to neutral. Start to bend that left elbow back, pulling your left hip to your left shoulder blade, maybe looking past that left shoulder. Squeeze the left side of your waist, at the same time stretching that right side. 3, 2, 1, come back to center. Curl your toes under and find your first downward facing dog and pedal out your heels. And then we'll hold with that left heel down on the mat. Bring your right foot behind that left leg and hold it there. So nice static stretch along that left calf. And then switch. Bring your right heel down. Really press it down into the mat. If you need to shorten your dog ever to do this, you can do that. Just bring that left foot and drape it along the back of that right leg. Finding that static calf stretch, pushing forward with your hands, melting your heart back, and just let your head be heavy. And then we'll bring that left foot back down into its footprint. We'll inhale it forward, find your plank pose. And bring your knee to your nose. Holding it here, your shoulders are over your wrists. Without letting that right foot touch, just tap your right knee between your hands and squeeze it up. For 5, again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back for a 3-legged dog. Open up the hip if you want. You can bend that right knee. Pushing forward with your hands, melting your heart back, but squaring off your shoulders. So can you lift your left shoulder as high as your right? Big stretch along the back of that left leg, as well as your right psoas. So it's just a lower half twist. Then we'll bring that right foot down. Come back forward into your plank. Solid body, solid alignment, shoulders over your wrists, and then pull that left knee in. Don't let your left foot touch, just tap your left knee between your hands and pull it right back up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back, 3-legged dog. Right heel heavy on the mat. Shoulders are square. You can stack that left hip on top of your right, open up your hip, maybe bend your left knee if that feels good. Maybe lift your right toes up off of the mat. And then we'll release that left foot down next to your right and walk your hands back to meet your feet and hang for ragdoll. Nice generous bend to your knees, tuck your pinkies in your elbow creases and sway left and right. And then release your fingertips down to the mat. Plant your right hand right below your face. You're going to soften that right knee, straighten your left leg, and reach your left arm up to the sky, maybe looking up at that left hand. If you want to make this a little bit more intense, really bend your right knee. Maybe even bring that right knee all the way into your right armpit. You can even bring that left hand behind you, tuck it into your right thigh, and use that as leverage to find a deeper twist. Then release that left hand back up to the sky. We'll bring your left hand down. Bend your left knee, straighten your right leg, and reach your right arm up. Maybe looking at that right hand. Again, maybe bending deeply into that left knee. Maybe bringing that right hand behind you, tucking it into your left hip crease, and then using that as leverage to really open it up. And then we'll release that right arm up and down. Heel till your feet together. Soften your knees. Let your head be heavy. Let your arms and your shoulders be heavy. We're going to roll it up one vertebrae at a time, stacking one on top of the next, on top of the next, until you get up to stand. Reach your arms overhead, and we'll open it up for a soft W. Just let those elbows hang towards your hips and open up that front body. Legs are strong. Weight stays just slightly towards your heels. Inhale, arms up through center, and exhale, fold. We're going to roll it up one more time. Head is heavy, arms are heavy, knees are soft. Try to just ripple up one vertebrae at a time. Ripple it all the way up. Reach your arms overhead, and then we'll open it up. Find your elbows to your hips. Lift your chin, lift your gaze. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, hands all the way down to the mat. We'll walk those hands forward. Find your downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands and drop your left knee. Untuck your left toes. Interlace your hands. Bring them on top of that right thigh. And allow your hips to sink down. Inhale your arms overhead. And we're going to let that right hand drop to the right and reach your left arm up and over. You can bring your fingertips down to the mat. If you can't reach and you don't have a block near you, it doesn't really matter. You can just lay your right forearm on that right thigh if you need to. And then we'll bring your right arm up next to your left. Bring your hands to heart center and drop your left hand for an easy twist. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Looking up at that right hand. And then we'll bring your right hand down to the inside of that right foot. Curl your left toes under, pivot on your heels, and find a wide-legged forward fold. Maybe walking your fingertips in line with your toes. Maybe rocking a little bit of weight into your toes. Walk your hands over to that left leg. We're just going to fold over that left leg. Maybe grabbing for that left ankle, reaching your forehead towards your left foot, but without compromising your nice stable hips. It's more of an energetic cue. I don't actually want your forehead to reach your foot. And then we'll come back over to the right leg, and we'll fold over that right leg, maybe grabbing onto that right ankle, rotating your ribs so that you're really folding over that right leg. And then pivot on your heels. We'll frame your right foot with your hands and step your right foot back to meet your left. Shoulders over your wrists. Rock forward on your toes. We're going to lower all the way down to your belly, nice and slow with control. Untuck your toes. Inhale into baby cobra. Hold it here. Pushing the tops of your feet down into the mat. Legs are strong. Come up one more set of ribs. Head is nice and neutral. You could even stretch your chin forward if you like. And then hover your hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Curl your toes under. We're going to push right through plank. And send it back for downward facing dog. Step your left foot between your hands and drop your right knee. Interlace your hands on top of that left thigh. Allow your hips to move forward. Heart is lifted. So to reach your arms up. Maybe looking up at those palms. And then we'll drop your left hand down outside of your left leg. Again, you can always modify by bringing that left forearm, top of your left thigh. Reach your right arm up and over. And then we'll bring both hands up. Hands to heart center. Drop your right hand down. Take an easy twist. Bring your left arm up to the sky. And then we'll bring both hands down to the inside of that left thigh. Pivot on your heels. This time we're going to bring those heels in, toes out, and come up for a goddess pose. So really trying to get those hips as low as your knees and using your glute medius to actively push those knees out. Hands come to heart center. We're going to bounce it here for 10, 9, belly pulled in, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down into Skandasana. You may need to adjust your feet slightly, but keep that left foot down on the mat. Don't let those left toes flip up for now. Getting a stretch along the inside of that left thigh, your adductors. If you want to take a bind here, you can. Maybe rotating your heart up to the sky. Bring your hands back to heart center. We're going to come all the way over and find the other side. Sole of your right foot stays on the mat. If you want to take a bind, you can. Maybe looking up to the sky. And then we'll come back, plant your hands down on the mat. Walk your hands, frame your left foot, and step your left foot to meet your right. Find your plank. We're going to take 5 chaturangas with your breath. You are welcome to drop to your knees. So rock forward on your toes as you exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push it right back up. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, push it up. We've got 3 more. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. This one we're going to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale into your upward facing dog. Come over your feet. Tops of the feet pushing down into the mat. Lift your chin. Hold it. And then send it back for downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward. Find your downward facing frog. Hover those knees. And then hips high and back. Again, bring those knees 1 inch off the mat. Hover, look forward, push forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips high and back. Find your downward facing frog, and then this time we'll step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. Find your half lift. And exhale, fold. Again, inhale, head up, find some length. And exhale, fold. This time, push through your feet. Reach it all the way up. And exhale, hands at your side, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, head up. Exhale, chaturanga, step or float. Inhale, push it through, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Let your head be heavy, melting your heart back, but then see if you can wrap those triceps in, right? Protecting your shoulder joint, not hanging in them. If your elbows were to bend, they would start to bend down, not just out. Bend your knees, look forward, step or float, top of the mat, all the way to half lift. Lengthen, fold. Inhale, push through your feet, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands at your side. Another Surya A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands come down to the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, push your heart through, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Hips high and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, starting to build up a little bit of length in your muscles, I hope, a little bit of warmth in your joints. Bend your knees, inhale all the way, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, push through your feet, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands at your side, Tadasana. One more, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, push it through. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to hold this down dog, 3 full breaths. Really pushing your heels down to the mat. You can lift your toes. Try to send the backs of your legs behind you. You let your head be heavy. Really rooting down through your inner hand. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, shift it forward. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee to your right shoulder. Inhale it back. Exhale, right knee to your left elbow. Hold it here. And we'll kick it straight out to the left. Find your twisted plank. So keeping those shoulders over your wrists. Try to roll that left hip down onto your inner right thigh. You can hold it here. You can join me. I'm going to take 5 chaturangas from a twisted plank. So lower halfway. Lift it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let your left heel come down and reach your left arm up and over. Find your fallen triangle. Really push through that right arm. Really squeeze the right side of your waist. You can hold it here. You can lift that right leg as high as your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that left knee under you, up and over the other side for wild thing. Reach your right arm up and over. Squeeze your left shoulder blade to your left hip. Really opening that right side of your body. And we'll bring that right hand down. Step your right foot between your hands and sweep it up for crescent. Open up your arms wide and find a twist. Right hand goes back, left hand goes forward. We'll let that right hand drop to the back of your left leg and reach your left arm up and over. Send your arms out wide once again. Bring them forward. Bring your hands to your heart center. We'll lean forward and twist to the right. You want to grab your right thigh with that right hand and help hold it in as you reach that left arm up and over. Go ahead. Bring your right hand back to your left. Thumbs are at heart center. Try not to drop that left hip. If you want to open up your arms here, you sure can. Then we'll come back to center. Reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, hands find the mat. Move through your vinyasa. Push your heart through. Hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Let your head be heavy. Each down dog, explore it like it's the first dog you've ever done, right? Heels are heavy, rooting through your inner hands. Find the opening in your shoulders, and then find the stability. Pull your navel into your spine. Get that sensation like someone is pulling your hips to where the back seam of the wall, where the back wall hits the ceiling. That your waist is super long. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, shift it forward. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, left knee to left shoulder. Inhale it back. Exhale, left knee over to your right elbow. We're gonna kick out that left foot to the right and find a twisted plank. Roll that right hip down onto your left leg. Shoulders are still balanced over your wrist. You can hold it here, or you can lower 5 times and push it up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll onto that right heel. Reach your right arm up and over. Find your fallen triangle. Squeeze that left shoulder blade to your left hip, and then lift your left leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your right hand down, left leg under you, up and over the other side. Find your wild thing. Left fingertips reach behind your head. Really stretch out that left side of your body. And we'll bring that left hand down. Bring your left foot between your hands and find crescent. Big deep bend in that left leg. Arms reach up overhead, strong legs, nice and deep in your lunge. And open it up, find your twist. Scissoring your legs, right hand forward, left hand back, maybe looking at that left hand. We'll drop that left hand to the back of your right thigh and reach your right arm up and over. Return with your arms spread. Sweep it forward. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to find a twist here. So maybe you grab that left thigh with your left arm and reach that right arm up and over. Bring your hands together. Strong right leg. Lifting that right hip. Pressing your left hand down into your right. You can always open up your arms if you did that on the first side. And then we'll come back to center. Arms reach up. And hands find the mat. Vinyasa. Left hand goes down. Move through the vinyasa. Push it through. Find your downward facing dog. Drop your forearms for dolphin. So actively pushing the mat forward, down and forward with your forearms. You can interlace your hands if it's marginally easier. So it feels good. Start to melt your ribs and your heart towards your thighs. If you need to bend your knees to find a nice tilt of the pelvis up, go ahead and bend them. If you can maintain this kind of stretch in your shoulders and the long line from your elbows to your hips and walk your feet in, go ahead and do that. Your heels are reaching for the mat. Doesn't matter whether they touch or not. And if your hands are interlaced, you're going to send them straight in front of you, straight in front of the elbows. We're going to shift all the way into chaturanga. So come up onto the balls of your feet, look forward, find your chaturanga, push it back, downward facing dog, elbows find the mat, dolphin. 3 more of those. Lift your heels, push into your hands, shift it forward, chaturanga. Push it up, plank, downward facing dog, drop your elbows. 2 more, lift your heels, shift it forward, chaturanga. Push it up, send it back, drop your elbows. Lift your heels, shift it forward, chaturanga. Push it up, hips high and back, find your dolphin. Elbows find the mat. Bring your right hand to where your right elbow was. So replace your right elbow with your right hand. And we'll find a funky dolphin here. If you want to drop your head down on the mat And maybe find your headstand, little funky variation of your headstand. You can do that. Or you can just hold your funky dolphin. Headstands come on down. We'll all bring our knees down, knees together, ankles together. Bring your hands back by your feet. And just let those shoulders drape over your knees. Short little break. And then we'll bring those forearms right back. This time, replace your left elbow with your left hand. Curl your toes under and hold your funky dolphin. If you want to draw up to your head and start to lift, pressing up into your funky headstand, you can do that. If this is something new and you haven't seen it before, then you have something fun to work on today at home. And we'll bring those feet down and bring your knees down. This time, splitting those knees open. Walk your hands forward and we'll thread the needle. Leave your left arm forward. We'll bring that right arm through. Bring the right side of your forehead down to the mat. And then we'll switch sides. Bring your right hand forward, bring your left arm through, and bring your left side of your forehead down to the mat. And then we'll bring that left hand forward and find your downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up behind you. And exhale, right foot between your hands, warrior one. Inhale, sweep up your arms. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your heart, coming into a humble warrior. So nice deep lunge, hinge over that right leg, and bring your arms overhead. Release the interlace of your hands. Bring that left hand right next to your inside of your right foot and reach your right arm up to the sky. And then we'll bring that right hand down to the inside of that right foot and reach your left arm up to the sky and push it up for warrior two. Right hand goes forward. We're going to find Skandasana on that left side. So bend into that left knee. Right sole of your right foot comes down. Come right back into warrior two. Reach your arms in opposite directions. And then again, Skandasana to the left, nice and deep. Come back, warrior two. One more. Skandasana to the left. This time drop your fingertips down to the mat and lift your right toes up and move that stretch from your adductors into your hamstrings. And then we'll bring that right foot down and we'll come back into your warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, straighten that right leg. We're coming into Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So you can walk that left foot in slightly, bump your left hip out and reach your right fingertips forward. And allow that right hand to come down and your left arm to go up. Looking up at that left hand. We're going to take this into our twisted variation, our revolved triangle. Left fingertips can go in the inside or the outside of that right hand. Reach your right arm up to the sky. And then we'll send your right hand to your right hip. We're going to roll that right shoulder back and step into our revolved half moon. Lift up that left leg. Think about lifting from the inside of your left thigh. You can reach your right arm up. And then we'll send both hands down to the mat and bring your left foot next to your right. Hips low, arms high, Utkatasana. Chair pose. Chin can be either neutral or it can be up. Hands can be apart, they can be together. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to twist to the right. Left hand pushes into the outside of your right thigh. Roll that right shoulder back. Knees are level. Belly button is pulled in. Find length in your spine before you twist. You can open up your arms here. You can drop your hands to the mat. Take it upside down in some fashion. Don't know if I think Cinnamon's blocking my view. Come back to center and fold. Separate your feet, hip distance apart. Grab onto your big toes. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And exhale, fold elbows then out to the side. Hinging at the hips. Release your big toes, heel toe your feet together. Inhale, push through your feet, reach all the way up. Hands come together. Drop your right fingertips to the outside of that right thigh and reach your left arm up and over. Come back into center. Right arm up. And we'll reach those left fingertips down. Right arm up and over. Bring your fingertips up. Bring your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders back. Start to send your hips forward. Weight stays in your heels. Glutes are engaged. Legs are strong. Find that nice big opening in your front body. Come back up to center. Reach your arms up. Now, without taking your hips with you, twist to the right. Spread your arms. Look past that right thumb. Left hand reaches forward. Roll that right hip forward. So just using the strength of your core to find this rotation. There's no leverage involved. Come back to center. Without bringing your left hip with you, twist to the left. Left hand goes back. Right hand goes forward, maybe looking past that left thumb. Roll your left hip forward. Come back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to sit down into a chair and twist to the right. Again, in case that's what you're thinking. Bring your left heel into your left hip, maybe looking down at the mat. Start to send that left leg straight back. And then bring your left foot to the back of your mat. Land in your twisted crescent. Inhale, center. And exhale, hands find the mat. Right foot steps back to meet your left. We'll take a right side plank. Right hand down. Left hand up. Shooting your booty underneath your body. Maybe lifting that left leg and lifting your left fingertips overhead, bringing your left bicep next to your left ear. Hold it here. 3. Oops. 2. And 1. Find your downward facing dog. Allow your head to be heavy. Inhale forward to plank pose. We're going to lower halfway. Hold your chaturanga. 3, 2, 1. Lay it all the way down to the mat. Roll your shoulders back. Find your baby cobra. Over here. And lower your heart down. Arms come out from your hips. Find your Arms up, legs up. Find your Shavasana. Lift it up. Push your chin forward. Squeeze your booty. Lift your legs. And release it down. Bend your knees. Reach back. Grab for the outsides of your feet. Finding our bow pose down your asana. Bring your knees back together. As you inhale, push your feet into your hands. Lift, lift, lift. Squeeze it up. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Curl your toes under. Push it through plank. And send it back for downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up behind you. And exhale, left foot between your hands. Warrior 1. Right heel spins down. Arms come overhead. Interlace your hands behind your back. Lift your heart. And we'll find our humble warrior hinging at that left leg. Arms come overhead. And then release the grip of your hands. Right hand comes down. Left arm goes up. And then we'll bring that left hand down to the inside of your left foot and windmill it all the way up for warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And we'll straighten that left leg. Bump your right foot in. Reach your left fingertips forward and find your triangle pose. Left hand down, right arm up. Looking up at that right hand. And then we'll bring that right hand down inside or outside of your left leg and reach your left arm up to the sky for a revolved triangle. Trying to swing your hips into the midline. And then we'll bring your left hand to your left hip. We're going to step into our revolved half moon. So right leg goes as high as your hips. Think about spinning from the inside of that right thigh. Reach your left arm up, maybe. And we'll bring both hands down to the mat. Bring your right foot down to meet your left. Hips low, arms high. Utkatasana. Belly button pulled in. Gaze up or neutral, your choice. We'll bring your hands to heart center and twist to the left. Knees are even, belly button pulled in. Find some forward movement of your sternum, so length before rotation. If you want to drop your hands and take this upside down, you can do that. Looking forward, leaning forward, picking up your heels, maybe finding your Ekapada. Come on back to center. Separate your feet hip distance apart. We'll find Pada Hastasana, gorilla pose. Slide the palms of your hands underneath your feet. Let your head be heavy. Start to reach your hips up. Start to rock your weight forward, wiggling your toes. Elbows can bend out or they can bend back. Release your hands from underneath your feet. Heel toe your feet together. Inhale, push through your feet. Reach it all the way up. This time we'll interlace those hands. Reach your index fingers up to the sky. Kneecaps are lifted, quads are engaged. Belly button is pulled in, ribs are pulled in. Find that nice and strong integrity of your core. Inhale, try to touch the ceiling. And then we'll come over to the right. Arms are strong and straight. Pushing your hips out to the left. Invite your left hip forward and roll your left shoulder back. Come back through center. Strong legs, strong arms. Try to reach the ceiling, lift it, lift it, lift it. And as you exhale, draw your line over to the left. Push your hips to the right. Squeeze the left side of your waist. Legs stay strong. They stay straight. Ribs are pulled in. Hold it here. 3, 2, invite that right hip forward. 1, come back to center. You can drop your hands to your low back and support your spine if you need to. Otherwise, arms are going to stay up. Head is going to drop back. Lift, find length first. Start to send your hips forward as you draw a line behind you. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to start to find a toe stand here. So push your knees forward, lift your heels, come all the way down. Gaze is steady and soft. Hands are at heart center, twist to the right. Send your gaze behind you, maybe over that right shoulder. Try not to point your knees to the side. Come back to center. We're going to twist to the left. Don't take your knees with you. And we'll come back to center. Drop your hands. And we'll find a little tiny little ball here. So tuck your chin, bring your forehead to your knees. You're going to keep that connection between your thighs and your rib cage. Let your heels come down and start to lift your hips. As soon as you lose connection from your ribs and your thighs, you've gone too far. Come on back. Head is heavy. Again, lift your heels, tuck your chin, round your back. Keep that nice tight little ball. Start to send your heels down and lift your hips. 1 more, just like that. Round into a little ball, tuck your chin, forehead to knees. And then send your heels down and lift your hips. Beautiful. Push into your feet, reverse swan dive all the way up. And we'll come back into our chair, Utkatasana. Twist to the left. Left hand pushes down into your right. Look down at your feet and hover your right heel, bring it into your right hip. Start to send it straight back, finding your flamingo. Then dropping it to the back of your mat, landing in your twisted crescent. Inhale, center, reach your arms up. And hands find the mat. Vinyasa. Come back into your plank. We'll take a left side plank, so left hand down. Roll onto the outside of that left foot and reach your right arm up to the sky, looking up at that right hand. Maybe sending your right fingertips overhead, maybe lifting that right leg, really squeezing that left glute. 3, 2, and 1. Right hand comes down. We're going to slowly lower down to the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Untuck your toes. Find your baby cobra. Roll your shoulders back. Pressing the tops of your feet down into the mat. And start to walk your fingertips behind you. I'm going to take this into a full cobra right from here. So start to press into your hands. Shoulders are going to stay down and back. Chin is going to lift. And lower it down. Bring your fingertips out from your shoulders a few inches. Start to roll your shoulders down and back. Squeeze them together and start to push into your fingertips. This is a different variation. Find a big opening in that front body. Maybe squeeze your glutes, protect your low back. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Round 2 of Dhanurasana. That's bow pose. If you want to take your rocking horse variation, you can, in which case your knees will stay glued to the mat. You can do the first version that we did last time, if that works better for you. You're going to take rocking horse, bring your knees back together, flex your feet. Allow your head to be heavy. And then we'll start to kick the wall behind you. Kick, 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 kick. Knees stay on the mat. Heart begins to lift. Kick, kick, kick. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Just let your hands be heavy. You can even cross your forearms. Just let your forehead rest on your forearms. And windshield wiper out your legs. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to push it back and find a child's pose. Knees wide, big toes touch. Just let your ribs melt between your thighs. And then we're going to lift it up. Find a tabletop. Bring your knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Inhale your right arm up. And then we'll start to walk. So try to keep your knees underneath this is a different variation of our thread the needle. So keep those hips right over your knees and start to walk your right fingertips as far as you can to the left until the right side of your skull finds the mat. And then we'll bring your left hand, place it on that right forearm and start to push. And then we'll bring that left hand forward and find your tabletop position. One more. Start to walk those left fingertips all the way to the right. Bring your right hand on top of your left forearm. Push, 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 push. And then we'll send your hands forward. Make your way all the way to your back. And bring your knees. We're going to find a happy baby here. So grab for the outsides of your feet. And you can sway left and right. If you love grabbing the insides of your feet, you can do that. Allow your knees to fall on either side of your ribs, releasing your low back. And then we'll cross that right ankle over your left knee. We're going to reach through that opening there and start to pull, finding your figure 4, finding a nice big opening along that right glute. And then we'll switch. Left ankle is going to cross over your right. Reach through that opening, pull in those figure 4 legs. And then we'll bring both knees in together. We're actually going to find a seated twist instead of a supine twist so that we can finish in a seated position. So roll it up. We're going to bring that right heel right next to your left hip. Step your left foot over, push into your hands and adjust your sitting bones so that you're nice and solid and even. Bring that left hand behind you. Bring your right arm up, and we'll bring that right elbow outside of your left knee. Lift your heart. Find length, right? Always looking for that axial extension before rotation. You don't want to twist on a rounded or an back or an uneven foundation. And then we'll rotate back to center and switch our legs. Left heel comes to the outside of your right hip. And then you can push into your hands, make sure you're nice and solid. We'll bring that right hand behind you. Bring your left arm up. And bring that left elbow outside of your right knee. Roll that right shoulder back, lift your heart. And then rotate softly. And then we'll come back to center. We'll bring those feet together. Find a Baddha Konasana. Interlace your hands underneath your feet. Sit up nice and tall. Squeeze your elbows in. And we'll just start to round forward. So don't put too much effort into this as far as pulling yourself down right now. You can even let it go and just hang if you like. Baddha Konasana can be a very active pose, but for our purposes right now, I just want you to let go. Allowing gravity to do the work. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Find a nice, easy, cross-legged position. Bring your hands to heart center. Bow your chin, close down the eyes. Taking a moment here to welcome in that sensation of gratitude into your heart, into your mind. I'm very grateful for each of you coming to class today. So thank you. It was my honor to guide you. It's always my honor to guide you, and just to be a part of your practice is it's really such a blessing to me. You have no idea. So thank you, guys. Namaste. I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna